empty stage for fate to turn your light on. Your life, little girl, is an empty page that men may want to write on. To write on. And write on they did. In calligraphy, they penned their story of me. But that was his story. This is her story. Today is my first day of kindergarten. I am so excited because I'm going to be in Mrs. Tilden's class. And she says that I am so special. And I looked right at her and I said, "You are special too." So she asked me, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I said, very boldly and sure of myself, "I'm going to be Wonder Woman, a lawyer. I'm going to do a business degree. I'm going to be a ballerina princess. I'm going to swim across all the oceans. And in my spare time, I'm going to have a zillion children." She was so gracious to me that day. She took my hand, she walked me down the aisle, down the hallway to my classroom. And in my very quiet, subtle way, I walked into my kindergarten room and said, "I'm here, I'm finally here. The girl that you've all been waiting for. Yes, I'm here, I'm finally here. Your life just got better." Thank you. My heart was always on the lost, the forgotten, the bullied. And I cared about every single creature. When I was a kid, just after kindergarten, I had this beautiful red wagon. Put your hand up. Everybody's had a red wagon. I had a beautiful red wagon, and I had my philanthropist, Julie, my beagle, and she would walk with me and my wagon, and we would collect mason jars full of tadpoles. We would rescue robins with broken wings, and we would take it all back to the helm of safety, otherwise known as my parents' garage. And one day I was pulling this wagon, I was coming up my driveway, and my next door neighbor, before this moment, I had never met somebody with such a voice.
"Do you think that you can save every creature in the world?"
Wow, what a great idea. It had never even occurred to me that I could do it on that large of a scale. As I moved on, as I became a teenager and then on into university, my heart switched from pets to people. I was always looking for the underdog, always trying to see who was being left out, who people weren't being friends with. In this pursuit, I made a decision that I would just help as many people as I possibly can. Somehow, I was able to achieve some of my other goals. I was valedictorian, I was even the Hudson Bay model, and they chose me because I was so kind to people. I was able to do such incredible things because I love so many people. I had such a big dream. I was doing all of my check marks of the things I wanted to do in my life. I got married, I had children, I worked as a family law mediator. That's a really low-stress job. And to add to that, I thought, what would any sane person do who has 6 children already at home? They would adopt 5 more. This was my dream. And this is where I got my identity all wrapped up. It took 2 years to prepare to have 5 kids who were abused come into my home. All siblings, all local, Stratford, Ontario. Their situation was staggering. Every single one of them had been molested, harmed and hurt and beaten and bruised. Their educational delays were incredible. They screamed and cried and wore diapers at 5 and 7 and 9 and 10 years old. But I could do it, right? I could rescue every creature in the world. I could keep it all together, right? We cook the meals, we go to sick kids' hospital, we help one kid, we go to the school for the others that keep getting kicked out and trying to stab people with pencils. It was just this ongoing adventure that eventually became insanity. My ex-husband started to get mentally ill, and I thought, I can just paddle faster. I can get through this. I can save us all. There has got to be a way. Eventually, I had to make a decision. Was I going to be vulnerable and real with myself? Was I going to have a Brené Brown meeting with myself and decide that I could be truly vulnerable? I could still show up fully as who I am and be loved? Letting go of it all was the hardest thing that I ever did. But I could feel the waters rising, and I couldn't breathe. And as fast as I swam, and the more that I paddled, and I just kept trying to push that tsunami away, there was just no chance that I could do it. I had to make the decision to save my soul or keep rescuing all these people that weren't willing to rescue themselves. I moved away from my home, my community, my church. I also have a pastoral background. Walked away from everything and sat in my new place and stared at the wall. I'm here. I'm finally here. The girl that I always wanted to become. But in that process of being totally real with myself and being able to let all of my crowns lay down flat on the ground and to love me for who I truly am, that girl, that vibrant girl who just loves so deeply, I was able to learn how to breathe underwater. You may have been played, betrayed, dismayed, and unpaid, trampled on by ruthless men, but I have a word for your naysayers, your doomsdayers, your backbiters, your criticizers. No demon's hour of glory gets to claim your story. For God digs chicks with scars. For what are scars except proof that you're willing to lay your one precious heart down on life's cutting board for the chance to be part of an exquisite meal? Life has a way of crashing mid-flight and leaving you breathless, wondering where the stewardess is and what she said to you at the beginning of flight. It was something about oxygen masks and exits. Maybe grieving over plans changed is part of the plan to change us. For your pit is a pit stop on the way to the palace. There's no pit that can't promote you, no one moment that defines you, can break you or shake you, negate you, deflate you. For every wall is a gate. No knock-up is a knockout. Every mess needs a message. Every message needs a mess. Every test needs a testimony. For every mess up is a setup, and you have a comeback. Shh. Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of your audience clapping. So don't wait, little girl, on any empty stage for fate to turn your light on.